All right, so won't take too much of your time. I know you guys are probably set to wrap up here at noon, but thank you, Judy and Lawrence, for giving me the floor here for a few minutes. We've been talking for the last few months about just ConstructReach, our mission, what we do, the partnership that we have established with ICC, and then looking to expound and move our reach into other areas and thinking internationally as well. So just to go back, I started ConstructReach about 6 years ago. I came from the construction industry. And for me, it was important for us to think about the landscape of construction, kind of where it's going, the labor shortage that we are currently going through right now, and the opportunity for the industry to be more intentional with how we attract, develop, and retain young talent. So ConstructReach was formalized back in 2018 to be a workforce development consultancy, seeking to address the underrepresentation of minorities within the construction industry, but also the need to get it younger, and then rethinking how we do that. So we set up ourselves in the marketplace to be a facilitator to unite all stakeholders. So when we say stakeholders, we mean the brands and enterprises that actually decide to invest in themselves, employ the construction industry to help them do that, either to remodel existing footprints that they have or expand their footprint. And then also with educators. So in the United States, over the last couple of generations, you've had the phasing out of a lot of the construction specific curriculum in the wave of technology. But what we have learned is that those needs and those skill sets are still important. And so over the last couple of generations, you've seen the need for there to be a better working relationship between industry and education. And so you see education now beginning to phase back into their curriculum, CTE, which pretty much stands for Career and Technical Education, to celebrate going into a career on par with going into a four-year university, right? So that's another stakeholder. So we bring together enterprises and corporations. We connect their social responsibility values with their construction program. So how they show up in a community and how do they employ people from the community that represents that community so they have some sense of ownership, but also allowing there to be value alignment between who builds for them, and then also creating opportunities and partnerships with educators so that they're able to put young people in a position to understand the different opportunities that exist and the wide array of career pathways that exist within construction. So it's an industry that employs, of course, as we know here in the United States, roughly about 10 million people. You have a generation that's aging out, but we're not backfilling those positions at the same rate. And when you think about this generation being the most diverse that it has ever been, there's an opportunity for the industry to make sure it's healthy enough to receive that young talent. So what we do as ConstructReach is we consult the industry to make sure that they have the organizational health, that they are intentional with how they are engaging communities, how they are engaging a younger demographic, that we are upskilling and training their existing leaders to make sure that they have the skills to do that. And then we're also engaging a younger demographic to let them know the different career pathways that exist and creating that partnership and bridging the gap between industry and education. So we started one of our outreach events that is called I Built This. It's got a link right here, a page right here. If we want to click on it just to have a visual of what it looks like, we may not have the opportunity to watch one of the videos, but essentially we started to rethink how we do construction outreach, how we expose young people to opportunities. And we partner, so some of our clients, are global brands and entities. We also started this in 2019 where we got a chance to explore and rethink what does it look like for companies to reach out and engage those in their communities. And so we started this I Built This event back in 2019 to really bring together corporations, employers, industry, educators, and young people. Started down in Atlanta, got a chance to allow the surrounding school districts to bring their students out, participate in hands-on activities that correlate to the construction and or the design of a store or a building or facility that's going up in their community, allow them to understand the different career pathways that exist, initiate conversations and relationships with all of the employers that are participating in that project, and then allowing that to be the onset of new relationships between those entities so that young people can move into opportunities within the industry post-graduation. We've been able to do this across the U.S. We started the partnership with ICC about a year ago, and actually we had this I Built This event integrated into your conference that we hosted yesterday over in Hall A, where we had the surrounding school districts from LAUSD and Long Beach come out and participate. We had about 200 students to come out with some partners that helped us put this on to facilitate hands-on activities for students. And it went from the skilled trades to technology to project managing and so on and so forth to give them the full array and the full breadth of what they can do within this industry. We've had about 85% of students that want to actually pursue opportunities within the construction industry after coming out of our I Built This event. And it's something that we've been able to see. It sticks. It's making an impact. We have positive responses from not only the students, but educators feeling like they have more informed information and partnerships to speak about opportunities to young people and their parents about what can come after high school and what can come after graduation. We've shown in a very practical way what the industry can be able to do in terms of this workforce development challenge and how to lean in a little bit more intentionally in terms of connecting social responsibility values and construction needs, and then also helping brands be more socially responsible. Of course, if you have retailers, right, there's a consistent experience that you go or that you have every time you go into one of their stores. We've kind of helped them create a programmatic workforce development initiative to now transfer that consistent experience with how they build as well and show up in communities to make sure that there's continuity between their social responsibility values and what they're known for, but also how they build, which is very important. And so, Judy and I have been having conversations kind of over the last couple of months and talking about, of course, with construction being this global sector, there being needs everywhere. She felt like this would be a good opportunity to kind of come shed light on the work that we do at ConstructReach, talk to you, present this to you all, of course, answer any questions that you have. This is something that we are definitely starting to think about. How do we begin to transfer this into other markets? Because the principle of having alignment between the ones who create the demand for the construction industry, which are corporations and enterprises, and then how they employ those who are going to build in or design for them, making sure that there's value alignment, but then also how they engage the community to make sure that they are putting folks in the community in a position to actually